Hey, do you want 3 to 5 more listings per month? In this next video, I'm going to show you the problems that people have listing for sale by owners and expireds and why they're not getting more of them. And I'm going to give you the tips on how to be different and how to list them and to be more effective in building your business. Talk to you soon. Let me ask you this question. Why is for sale by owners and expired so difficult for some people? Now, years ago, I needed business like now, not later, but right now. I like listing homes. It gave me more time to be with my kids. It leveraged a lot of things for me. Now, they said low-hanging fruit was for sale by owners and expireds. So now I had to figure out how can I get in the door and make it happen and list houses. Now, percentage-wise, here's what I think. Over the years, you'll probably get a 10% conversion. So if you went to 10 and you knocked on 10 on the door, at the door, you'd probably get 1 or 2. Now, what's the approach? Standard approach is I'm going to call. Are you familiar with my techniques? Or do you realize, whatever it may be, it's a strong push and people don't like to be pushed. You're putting them into fight or flight instantly and they hang up on you or they go, you're repelling them. So what we like to do is get into a situation where, let's say there's an invisible meter between 1 and 10. Let's say that is the fight or flight meter. Your questions need to be below 5. They can't intimidate them. They can't push them into fight or flight. So you want to stay below that. So your questions need to be not so strong, but enough that you get into the door, right? So effective. I've had people make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands every month, because they did not use the initial approach that everybody else is using. So what I want you to do is to make that call or knock on that door. But we have to be consistent. You can't just try it a couple times and go, it didn't work, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to buy that video, how to lay in bed and make $100,000 and never prospect. If you're in sales, you're going to have to prospect. Just put it that way. Okay, so let's get over that one real quick. So here's what we got to do. We're going to get our list. We're going to make our calls. We're going to call them and ask them if we can come by to do a preview. Okay, now if you stick around, I'm going to give you the actual step-by-step process on the preview tracking sheet on how to actually do the preview. You'll get that in just a little bit if you stick with me. So watch, the call gets made. Hi, I'm calling about 123 Main Street and that's still for sale. So the questions are maybe 3 to 5, very, very innocuous and not going to push them. And now what we want to do is set a time to go to the home to preview. Now, do not say, when they say, or when they ask, do you have a buyer? Here's what unless you have a buyer, I don't want you to say, well, I got to see your house first. Everybody says the same thing. What I want you to do is say this. No, I don't have a buyer right now, but we always have buyers coming in. Is today or tomorrow convenient for me to stop by for 15 to 20 minutes and take a look at the home? Okay, that's for sale by owners, right? So we're going to preview the property. We're going to make it easy for them to meet us because empathy, know, like, and trust, the easiest way to develop that is in person, bar none. If they're out of town, obviously you're going to do a Zoom or do something different. So what I'd like for you to do is to be able to set that preview. And they may say, well, I'm never going to list with you. That's fine. Get to the house. Worst case scenario, watch this. You go to the house and they're going to sell it or they're going to list it with someone else. Your presence, the way you present yourself makes them think, wow, that person's a little bit different. They're not the same as these other people I've talked to. Hey, Betty or Bob, I've got a friend of mine that wants to sell down the street. Listen, many times I've heard this before. Hey, Bill, I couldn't get the listing, but they referred me to someone down the street. You have to get out of the office. You have to get out of your house. You've got to meet people. I always say we got to shake hands and kiss more babies, right? We got to get out. So by you doing 2 previews a day, at least, that's what, in a month? That's a lot. And your conversion rate will get better as you improve your dialogue. Right? Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, Science, and Practice says that you establish influence by how you present in your clothes. They look at your car, meaning we don't want to look like it was off-road and you got gun racks and you have surfboards on top. You know, they want to see that you're professional. And they're watching you as you pull up to the house and get out of your car. All right. So now you're going into the house and you're going to follow my step-by-step process of asking the right questions and having them go, oh my gosh, this is a different type of person. See, here's what I believe. You want to determine whether or not you want to take the listing because you can't grovel. And this industry likes to grovel, likes to over-rapport. You need to look like a business person going into the house. You need to show them something that they've never seen before in other agents. And the good news is there's not a lot of people that behave that way at a home. Okay, so let's talk about expireds for a little bit. Expireds typically are upset, right? Because they listed with someone else and it didn't work out. You got to understand these people are upset. They're not upset at you. They don't even know you. Give them a call. Now, a typical objection from them is, you know, we don't know what we're going to do. We're going to probably take it off the market for a while. So we need to determine if this is true or this is false. Is it an objection? Is it a condition? So let's say one thing the same way every time. And this is a script, don't change it. They go, well, we don't know what we're going to do. We're definitely going to just take a break. Okay, great. Don't tell them how great you are and what you've got. I mean, we've got to get into the door. Here's how we do it. Hey, Mrs. Smith, let me ask you this question. If we get a phone call for someone interested in your, watch this, neighborhood, not interested in your home, not interested in putting a contract, right? Interested in your neighborhood, would it be okay to contact you? Pause. Wait for the answer. Oh yeah, sure, give us a call. Now we know that they're interested in selling still. Just the reaction and how they answered that. Now, you had an affirmative, meaning they said, yes, give me a call. Now, we go to step 2. Great. So right away, don't wait. Great. Now that I know that you want to do that, I'd like to come by and take a look at your property just to know and understand a little bit more about your house. Is today or tomorrow convenient for me to stop by for 15 or 20 minutes? Right? Let's go back. Hey, if I get a phone call for someone interested in your neighborhood, would it be okay to contact you? Oh, yeah, please do. Great. So that I know more about your property, is today or tomorrow convenient for me to stop by for 15 or 20 minutes? Okay, now, they're more likely to do that than for you to close really hard and try to tell them how great you are. Now, I must admit that sometimes closing hard works with certain personalities. I mean, agent personalities. You know, they go, well, gosh, I did this. You could do this too. No, it works sometimes for that agent because that agent is that agent. Doesn't always work for everybody. So what I'm giving you is what works most of the time with any personality in sales and working on the other end and being accepting by the person on the other end of the phone. So you want to go into the house. You want to go to that house. So when they say, yeah, come over, Thursday's fine at 3 o'clock, great. Get their email address immediately and start to log that in. Now, the tough part about FSBOs and expires and why people typically don't stick with it, because there is a follow-up process. And I always say, listen, follow up with these people until they list, they die, they sell it. Just keep following it up because they're going to look at you and go, you know what? This woman is really following up. She's professional. She's not slamming things down my throat. You know, sometimes you guys get commission breath and you go like going after these people. As soon as you get a little bit of a positive, we want to have the demeanor of a professional, as a consultant. You're the doctor, they're the patient. Soon as they now take control and become the doctor, you've lost the respect and the influence you need to close for that appointment. Remember that. It's written in the Influence Science of Practice in the book, Robert Gialdini book, that if you ever get that, I think it's the 4th edition. But this is the power of for sale bonus and expires. There's so much more I'd like to talk about with you, but right now, here's what you've got to do. Make those calls regularly. Get into 2 of these houses per day, 5 days a week, as much as possible, right? In the afternoon, if you've got no appointments, drive by and knock on the door if you couldn't get a hold of them. Stay with the program, All right. Things typically start to evolve and go into your favor after about 90 days of staying with it. Don't lose track. There's been people all over the country making good money at this because they stay with it. Okay? Looking forward to talking to you next time. Don't forget, I'm going to give you this little gift. This gift is going to give you the track on how to do the previews of the house, what scripts to use, how to walk through that house and show that you are someone with influence and authority. Thanks for being with me. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching the video, and I hope you found it real valuable. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss out on new videos. For more resources and tools, check out the links in the description below. And if you want to stay up to date with our latest content, make sure to tune in weekly for new videos, okay? So thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.